is ILTV on the hour, bringing you the biggest stories from Israel and the Middle East in just 5 minutes. I'm Khaled Ben David, and today is day 692 of the war in Gaza. Let's get into all the top headlines at this hour. Israeli troops ferried by helicopter reportedly raided a base overnight on a key hilltop near Damascus. According to Syrian sources, the airborne operation went on for 2 hours and targeted Jabal Mania, which was once a major air defense base operated by Iran before being destroyed by Israel prior to the fall of Bashar al-Assad's rule. Troops from the new Syrian army are reportedly positioned at the base. Syria's official Sana news agency reported that initial Israeli drone strikes targeted soldiers who, while on patrol, discovered several surveillance and eavesdropping devices. While Israel did not confirm the attack, Defense Minister Israel Katz later posted that the IDF is fighting on all fronts, day and night. U.S. President Donald Trump presided yesterday over a White House meeting advertised as a discussion of policy planning for post-war Gaza. But after the session, the White House downplayed its significance, despite U.S. Envoy Steve Witkoff having said it would be a large meeting to discuss the Trump administration's comprehensive plan for Gaza the day after the Israel-Hamas war. The discussion did include former British Prime Minister Tony Blair and Jared Kushner, who served as White House Middle East envoy during the first Trump administration. Blair has been working on post-war Gaza plans for several months. The White House said that all aspects of the Gaza issue were discussed, including the increase of humanitarian food delivery, the hostage crisis, post-war plans, and more. Despite the range of issues and the presence of top policymakers, the White House insisted this was a normal policy meeting and they had nothing to share at the end of discussions. Meanwhile, Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer is in Washington and met senior White House officials just prior to the White House Gaza policy session. Shortly after the meeting, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio held talks with visiting Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar, highlighting the close coordination between Washington and Jerusalem. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has slammed Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for what he called politically motivated recognition of the Armenian genocide. Comments by Erdogan followed remarks by Netanyahu, who for the first time publicly acknowledged the genocide carried out by the Ottoman Empire against Armenians, Assyrians, and Greeks in the early 20th century. Erdogan described Netanyahu's remarks concerning 1915 as an attempt to exploit past tragedies for political motivation, and he called the remarks incompatible with historical and legal facts in order to cover up the war crimes currently being committed by Netanyahu and his government. The Prime Minister made the comment on a show hosted by U.S. podcaster Patrick Bet-David, who asked the Prime Minister why he had not recognized the Armenian genocide.
Why haven't you yet recognized the Armenian, Assyrian, and the Greek genocide that the Turkish did to that community?
In fact, I think we have, because I think the Knesset passed a resolution to that effect.
I don't know if it's come from you, though. I don't know if it's come from the Prime Minister of Israel.
Yeah, I just did.
Okay.
Here you go.
All right. Well, thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate you. That's important to me. And I'm sure a lot of Armenians, Assyrians, and Greeks around the world appreciate you saying that.
Now, a Knesset subcommittee did recognize the Armenian genocide back in 2016, but an attempt to get full parliamentary approval for such a resolution failed 2 years later due to a lack of government backing. And that's a wrap for this edition of ILTV on the Hour. Of course, we'll continue to give you some of the most important updates coming out of Israel and the region. You could scan that QR code up on your screen to get access to our ILTV app. I'm Khaled Ben David, and thank you for watching.